I have a student who lives up in Minnesota, and he called me one day. He says, "I'm going to write an article about you." He says, when I get the first paragraph done, I'll share it with him. So he called me on the phone one day, and he says, "I'm going to read the first paragraph to you." So this is what he read to me. Master Samuel Copeland, portrait of an ascendant student. A flickering shadow, a blur of hands. The drum roll of hammers sounding your body. The earth lurches and moves out from underneath you, then thuds as it rises and meets your back. Knees and feet flash across the sky. Nothing escapes the vortex except the groan that the earth coaxes out of you. Finally, laughter from above and an ebony arm beckons you upward. Meet Master Copeland, an extraordinary blend of warrior and scholar, and the highest ranked student of Grandmaster Art Science. You must have accepted the invitation to throw a strike where he once stood smiling at you. Fortunately, your fist was offered in the spirit of learning. To approach the master in any other way is to risk knowing too much. So when you finished reading this semester, I laughed. I lost a belly laugh. And he says, "What's wrong? Don't you like it?" I said, "I want to meet this guy." my students flatter me and their thoughts and phrases and writings of me. I'm honored by that. Mr. Tannenbaum and I go way back. He was part of the original 70s crew of martial artists. John Stockhausen, you two, you can't hide. We started this venture a long time ago, and it still goes on. I'm still smiling, I'm still having fun. So what I like to do is, one more short story about me. I have to take this opportunity because it might be a teaching moment or a sharing moment. I remember years ago, 35 years ago, my teacher said to me, he said, "Brother Sam," he said, "martial arts started in Africa." And I had never heard that. And I said, "Yes, sir," because I'm respectful. And I didn't know what else to say. Because all the literature that I had ever encountered said China and Korea and Japan and India and places like that. Nothing I ever encountered said Africa. But I took him at his word, even though I had no background information indicating that. A few years later, one of the students started putting out publications saying martial arts started in Africa. I said, "Oh." I said, "I'm part of this. I have to represent that." I hope he did his homework. I assume he did his homework. The last thing that happened in that series was one night on the Arts and Entertainment Channel, they had a 2-hour program on martial arts titled A Comprehensive History of the Martial Arts. And when the program came on, there was a narrator, and there were monks in the Shaolin Temple doing forms and movements while the narrator spoke. Because when you think about Kung Fu, you think about China. So he talked about China, and he talked about Japan, and all these martial arts and punches and kicks and spinning and whatnot. Korea. So then finally the narrator said, after panning through all those cultures, it said, however, the camera panned away from those guys and it went over to a map of Africa and it panned down the Nile River in Egypt. And as the camera panned down the Nile River in Egypt, it got to a little town called Beni Hassan. When it got to Beni Hassan, it panned off of the Nile River. And when the lens opened up, it was on the inside of the temple, the pyramid. And there were drawings on the wall in that pyramid. Drawings of combat, drawings of archery, chariots, weapons, stick fighting. And the narrator, as he was pointing all these things out, he said this. He said, "These drawings predate any known verifiable system of martial arts by 2,500 years." I said, "Now they said it." It ain't just my teacher or my fellow classmate. This is on the Arts and Entertainment Channel. So that was complete validation for me. I made one more connection to that one day. I was doing my Tai Chi exercise. And in Tai Chi, there's a posture. And it's pretty prevalent through all systems of Tai Chi. So as I'm doing this form, I hit this posture. And it never hit me like that before. I was standing there, I said, I've seen this before. I've seen it before. And I knew I'd seen it in Tai Chi books. And I'm like, what did I see? I stayed there, I wouldn't even move. Where did I see this before? Where did I see it before? And after a while, it hit me. I saw that posture on some of the early drawings in the pyramids. And when I saw this on the pyramids, before I was ever involved in martial arts, I said, they draw funny. Or they walk funny. I didn't know which. You know, it didn't look right. And then Hollywood cartoons had fun with it. You know, and I'm like, when it hit me that I had saw this posture in the pyramids, I'm like, wow, I'm touching antiquity. That's how old this is. And it is so, as old as it is, it's still as powerful as it ever was. Maybe even more so, I don't know. Because I wasn't there, and I'm just here having my own experiences now. But what happens in martial arts is everybody knows that there's always block, punch, and kick, those kind of things that happen. Then you speed those kind of things up. And it's like, so you see people through martial arts training that become skillful to death at avoiding being hit or hurt, disabling your opponent. It became a way of life for them back there. That's how they protected themselves. They made it very deadly too. We have one. Mike, have I ever hurt you? No, sir. Kids in here. Have a big set. But as this goes on, self-control is a part of this. That way, Mike doesn't get hurt. And my students continue to come back home. But these are the kind of things that we do to one another. Also, beyond the block, punch, and kick, block, punch, strike, bam, boom, bam, boom. You know, you see that all the time. There's higher levels of martial arts. I'm going to touch on mild, and it deals with energy. My energy and his energy. Let me take my glasses off. Get them